Hey Internet!
Hey!
Boyd and
Matt!
we're back with a movie of some
A
sort.
movie of some sort. We are watching Death Wish, starring Jodi Foster. This is The Brave One. It's a 2007 movie that didn't really get a whole lot of attention, but was still kind of divisive over the... like, if you look this up on Rotten Tomatoes, there are zero moderate opinions on it. This is a morally repugnant film. It's like this film questions the morals barely holding up our society. So that's the divide on this movie. I like it. I actually went and saw it in theaters when it came out. And
I've never heard of this before.
Oh yeah, it flew like right under the radar. I would definitely say it has some issues, like most of these kind of films do, because it's very much. You said you haven't seen Death Wish?
I actually have not seen the Death Wish
Okay.
movies.
Watch the first. Well, watch the first one for at least an attempt at a serious character drama, and then watch the sequels for a laugh.
Sequels for a laugh.
For a big dumb laugh, because after the first one, the Canon Film Group got a hold of the series, and
so they obviously got better.
Oh, of course.
I mean, Canon did Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
And Superman 4.
There's some horror stories from the set of the Death Wish films, both the funny kind and the kind. The Brave One. I actually don't know much of its like film, like making of history, but it is. I would say I love it. I think it's a really solid movie, but I will acknowledge its issues, and we'll get into what those are. I guess after we watch it.
No, let's talk about it now.
Okay. Like, sure. So everybody dies, and
spoilers, dude.
But no.
You said this is a noir film, right?
Yes, this is a I would call it a neo noir film.
Let's talk a minute about noir.
Okay.
I love noir. I became a real big fan of it in college. I want to say like the first movie I ever saw where I was specifically told this is a noir film was Double Indemnity.
Okay, yeah.
Classic movie. Have you ever seen it?
Oh, it's been a while.
Okay, well, you've seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, the basic premise of a noir film is you're given a character or set of characters who are basically at the beginning of the movie they are given a choice.
Yeah.
And they pick the wrong choice.
Yeah. Well, and it's. I would add to that, it's none of the choices they're given are really good ones because it's very much rock and hard place.
No, see, I disagree with you on that.
In a lot of cases.
I mean, the ones I've seen, like Double Indemnity, it's about a guy that helps a woman kill her husband for the insurance money. She comes to him with this plan, and he could say no.
Oh, okay.
He could say no and go to the police, but he's like, this girl's kind of hot, and I wouldn't mind having that money.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like and he that's what he does, and it's usually like they make that wrong choice, and then the rest of the movie is just the snowball effect of that wrong choice until it just culminates at the end. Sometimes they get caught, sometimes they don't. I actually myself consider the Coen brothers like the modern day noir masters. I would be very hard pressed to think of one of their movies that is not influenced by noir, by the noir genre. Maybe
Burn After Reading.
Well, no. Oh, absolutely, that's a noir film. Absolutely,
really?
Yes.
I figured it ventured into more spy territory.
That's called a spy noir. That's fine.
Okay.
But just about every character in that movie, with the exception of maybe J.K. Simmons, makes the wrong choice.
That's true.
And it's all about how that snowballs.
Yeah.
The Big Lebowski, it's a cult movie.
Yeah.
And definitely on my top 10 list of favorite movies, absolutely noir.
That is a noir film with a slacker character as the lead.
Their very first movie, Blood Simple, beautiful movie, and I really like it because that one kind of harkens back to the old black and white a little bit. It's not black and white, but it very much has a red tone to everything. At least I think it does. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
I need to see it.
That might be one we have to watch soon.
Well, we're starting a noir thing.
So,
Kicking off from our vengeance thing, we're starting a war thing.
we were gonna watch Jack Reacher.
We can throw it in.
We might like 1 weekend. We may have to just do a double feature.
Sure.
Might probably have to do that. Anyway, I freaking love Noir, and I'm really excited because it's been a long time since I really feel like I've seen a good Noir film.
Yeah.
Probably Burn After Reading might be the last new one I saw,
But yeah, this the Brave one I would say is in the still ill-defined neo-noir kind of subgenre.
which, as you kind of explained to me, it's just modern day noir.
Essentially, but noir really likes its hard-boiled, guy in the trench coat.
See, I mean that's definitely I would say that's more of a stereotype. Of
it really
the genre
is.
rather than a staple.
You get, I think in neo-noir you get not more varied characters because it has its own character set. You get different characters and scenarios than you do in, your standard noir.
Would John Wick be a noir?
This is why I said ill-defined. No, I don't think John Wick is a...
I mean, it's definitely more of a vengeance movie.
Yeah. I don't know.
But he doesn't have to go on that vengeance. I don't know.
This is the trouble with genres, though, is it's so hard to nail them down because there's so many things in common. The way I define noir and even neo-noir is more aesthetic than structure.
And I gotta disagree with you on that one. I think, I definitely noir has an aesthetic to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually very dark, but I don't think that's what makes the genre.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at The Big Lebowski, Burn After Reading,
yeah,
those to me straight up noir. Maybe a different style of noir, but they're not dark movies.
Yeah,
not at all.
But that's just generally what I think of when I think of noir is the lone figure silhouetted against a street lamp, or in the case of neo-noir, the lone figure silhouetted against neon lights.
And I don't argue. I'm not arguing that that's a part of it.
Yeah.
But to me, again, it's more. I think that's more of a stereotype than it is a staple of the genre.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, generally, I guess in terms of noir worlds, you don't really have good guys. More or less, you're gonna have your main characters are essentially anti-heroes, very flawed characters who make that wrong decision you were talking about because of whatever their fatal flaw happens to be.
Right.
And you don't really have anybody that's a good person. They're just all people who are kind of in it for themselves.
A lot of times, yeah. Usually you got the one cop or something.
That's well, and even your bad guys have at least some either noble or sympathetic quality to them. Like the rich billionaire company man who would be the villain of the piece would also maybe be a loving family man. So you've got a lot of gray. And so, I start with the aesthetic, but I take it a little further.
Fair enough.
But
I think the point I'm trying to make is it's not, the aesthetic is not set in stone.
Oh, no, of course not.
Well,
I love the aesthetic.
You want to watch this thing?
Yes,
let's watch this thing. We'll be back.
What are you wearing?
Green scrubs tied at the waist. Very sexy V-neck. Look, I gotta go.
Yeah?
I do love you.
I love you too.
Let's just go get married. Why can't we go down to City Hall tonight?
Man, don't you know there's a leash law?
I never understood how people lived with fear. And then fear touched me. My boyfriend was beaten to death.
We got the best detectives in this city working on this. We will find them.
Please be a little bit patient and have a seat over there. An officer will be down shortly to help you.
I want to buy a gun.
$1,000.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You won't let me see my kids? You can't be here!
Somebody shot him with a 9mm automatic.
Nobody expects you to go back to work or to function. You just have to. I have to what?
This is too easy, man. If anybody is implying that the shooting is justified, let me remind you that we do have a legal system. How did you pull it back together after what happened to you?
You become someone else.
We got some information on that subway shooting. All this time we've been looking for a man with a gun. There's a woman with a grudge.
Well, I guess there's a lot of us out there. It is astonishing to find that inside you there is a stranger. This stranger is all you are now. There's no going back.
I used to ask myself if there was someone that I knew that had committed a crime. Would I have the fortitude to put them away?
And do you?
One more piece of evidence. And she goes down.
Hey guys, we're back.
Yes, we are.
That was a movie. And we actually have another guest with us. Talia. Talia, come here. Come on. Come on. Oh, yes. I needed some puppy love after that depressing movie you made us watch.
You mean that good movie?
It was good. It was
Yeah.
very good. But
I hadn't seen it in a good while, so some of the problems I alluded to before we watched it were non-existent. I was gonna talk about how she shouldn't have just like stumbled upon the people that mugged her by accident. That actually didn't happen. She does investigate.
so let's talk about the plot.
Yeah,
before we
the
get
story
into that kind of
is
stuff.
Jodi Foster plays a host of a radio show of some sort, some description, named Erica Bain. She and her fiance get mugged like 5 minutes into the movie.
Pretty early in the movie.
It's pretty early.
They're
Good.
walking in like Central Park at night, so I was wondering, like, okay, when they're getting mugged.
Yep. They get mugged in this little tunnel, and fiance gets killed.
Played, it was Saeed from Lost.
I see. I never saw it.
Oh, really? It was Saeed from Lost.
Okay.
Um,
So Saeed from Lost gets killed.
I smile at him getting killed. That was wrong.
But
And
and
she
Erica is in like I don't think it's a coma, but she's basically out for
3
like
weeks,
3
yeah.
weeks.
Probably a coma. Probably
Probably.
qualifies as that. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And-
But I mean, after that, it's a good movie. But
it's a slow burn.
it's a slower movie. But it definitely is just it didn't really feel like a noir film to me. It was just more vengeance. It was like John Wick, a serious John Wick movie. But okay, so hold
I
on.
would place it in the camp of like neo noir, where you've still got the dirty city and everybody's kind of horrible.
Right.
And one thing that we didn't talk about in the pre-recording, the opening, was that one element of noir is that there are no good people. Or did we bring that up?
Well, not that there's no good people. I brought up, because when we watched the movie, I wanted to because we kind of argued about what qualifies as noir, and this is the definition of noir. When I Googled film noir, this is what came up: a style or genre, a what is that word? That C word?
That is weird. Cinematographic.
A style or genre of film marked by a
just said
mood marked by a mood of pessimism, fatalism, and menace.
Yeah.
This movie meets those qualifications.
Very much so.
The term was originally applied by a group of... Okay, the rest of that's not important.
Yeah. And basically one of the, I guess, central tenets of film noir is that you have a character or characters whose decisions are increasingly just more desperate and more desperate until they just kind of spiral out of control. And a lot of the trappings of noir are, there's very much story elements, but there are also heavy style elements as well. And in film, that often drives story.
It can, if a competent filmmaker.
Yes. I would say this is Neil Jordan who directed this film. He
Mhm.
did Interview with the Vampire,
Oh, really?
and a movie that it's been on my list for a while, but I've just never seen, called The Crying Game.
Oh man, I remember when that movie came out, actually. Because everyone was just like, it was such a, I want to say controversial movie back in the day.
Yeah.
Because it showed a dick.
Okay.
I mean, do you know what the big twist of the movie is, of The Crying Game?
No.
I probably shouldn't.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I've never seen the movie either. And I could be very wrong about what I'm about to say here.
Okay.
But if I'm not mistaken, like there's a character. There's a detective character in it.
Yeah.
And I want to say he's played by who was the main vampire in The Lost Boys?
Oh.
He was Jack Bauer in 24.
Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland.
I think it was Keith Sutherland. I don't know. He's working on some kind of case. He falls in love with this woman, and like they're about to make love for the very first time. She takes off her clothes, and there's a dick.
I was actually thinking about a different movie that's on my list. I'll have to reconsult my list.
But yeah, that was like, I don't know. That was a big. I feel like that was controversial. Man, I could be very wrong. Maybe it wasn't controversial at all. I was like 4 or 5 when that movie came out.
That doesn't sound like the movie I'm thinking of.
What are
I'm
you
trying
thinking of?
I don't know. I don't know now.
I don't even really know if Keith Sutherland's in the movie or not,
Yeah.
but it's not important. Anyway, we've kind of off topic.
Yeah. Are we ever on topic? But no, this, The Brave One, the name of the movie we're talking about, 2007, takes place in 2007, more or less.
You can tell because everyone has flip phones. No
Yeah.
smartphones in this movie.
I miss flip phones, I do.
They were stylish in a way.
I would like the versatility of this thing with the design of a flip phone. I don't think that's
you can get those
possible.
little cases now that you can.
Well, that's
flip.
true. That's not the same. But
You can't win with you.
I know, right? But no, I would definitely characterize this as neo-noir, which is even more loosely defined than film noir.
Yeah, like I looked up the definition of that one too, and
Yeah.
it just said it's like a modern day
Yeah.
dark movie that with the trappings.
Yeah,
of noir.
we need like a noted film
Really
critic or film academic to sit down and nail down what neo-noir
I took 2
is.
film classes.
That counts.
I passed one of them.
I passed my film classes. But I would definitely, for how I define like neo noir, I would definitely qualify this movie as it, despite many scenes that take place during the day. But
I mean, it's a dark movie.
Oh, very,
It's a very dark movie. It's got a tone to it. The acting, like, I'm not a big Jodi. I know you're a big Jodi Foster.
I do. Between this movie and Panic Room made me a big Jodi Foster fan.
I'm not a big Jodi Foster fan. I don't hate her. I'm never like, ooh, the new Jodi Foster movie's out.
Yeah.
But this movie made me kind of a fan of Terrence Howard.
Yes, this has a fantastic Terrence Howard performance, and I don't actually like him in a lot of stuff. I didn't like him as Rhodey in Iron Man.
I didn't think he was terrible. That's actually the first movie I remember seeing him in. Like, I actually had oh!
You are the worst.
If anything, she's going to get our viewership up because there's a dog.
His dog videos.
So we're going to have to put up with this for future ones now. But anyway,
we wanted to add a challenge to the video making process.
Yeah. Challenge accepted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stop. It's cool. Everything's cool.
She just doesn't like us talking about about Marvel movies because she's named after a Batman character. But anyway, Terrence Howard.
Your movies suck.
Hey.
But anyway, yeah, this has a standout performance. I'd say standout performances from everybody, really, but Terrence Howard, especially, in his conversations with Jodie Foster in this movie, are some of my Some of my favorite scenes.
But it was like it was the little things he would do
Oh,
that
yeah.
I really liked. Like
There's
there's a scene in
good
the movie.
subtleties.
She's on her way to kill this guy who's kind of I want to say crime boss or something.
He's alluded to as kind of a crime boss.
And she's talking to Terrence. Terrence Howard plays a detective,
Mhm.
and she's talking to him on the phone right before she's kind of like stalking the guy. And the elevator that they get on dings, and Terrence Howard hears it on the phone.
Yeah.
Later on, when he's investigating the guy's murder, he hears that elevator ding, and it's just his little mannerism as he's like,
He
as he
kind of
hears
looks at
it
it
and
and
recognizes it, and
pokes the button and makes it ding again. And what I like is those little subtleties he does. The film doesn't really draw attention to them. It just kind of, it's a wide shot. It just lets it happen.
no, absolutely.
There's no close up on him pushing the button and his reaction shot. It's just him, and he just kind of continues with his investigation. And I definitely like that.
Now there was one thing about this movie did that kind of strayed away from the normal noir trappings.
Yeah.
And that was that she gets away with it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I might have done the ending differently, but I said it was Death Wish starring Jodi Foster, and at the end of Death Wish, oh crap, I don't remember the name of the character anymore.
Charles Bronson plays it.
Yeah, Charles Bronson gets away with it. The character has
Well,
a
he
name.
has to. There's got like 50
Yeah.
sequels he's got to do. Death Wish 9.
The canon film,
I wish I were dead. Critic reference for those of you out there.
right?
Okay. I'll go.
But
Tolly! Be cool.
but
This is definitely going to be interesting.
as far as the filmmaking is concerned, there's a lot of stuff I like in this movie and some things I don't. So my problems with the movie are more in like, why that shot, or maybe cool it on the Dutch angles a little bit.
There were... this wasn't Battlefield Earth. Or
No.
anything.
And it used, this did Dutch angles right, but then maybe did it a little too long. Like, the first time she kills...
Someone?
The first time she kills someone, as she's sort of reeling from what she's just done, and just the realizations are hitting her, the frame is doing this. That
Right.
works. I love it. The next kill, which is on the subway, it's doing that again at, I would say, the same degree, but the movie's trying to communicate that she's getting used to it. Her hands aren't shaking.
Right. That is something that they make
So,
fun of.
Yeah. So I still might have done the Dutch tilt thing, but maybe made it a little more subtle. And as she kept going, it would just stop. And after she kills the, her reaction after she kills the boss guy or whatnot, or maybe even the drug dealer, no tilt at all, just static. Because in filmmaking, that is a way you use your shots and your angles and whatnot to communicate things about the characters, and that it would have been a really great thing for them to do.
That is very interesting.
I'll go ahead and point out I'm not a filmmaker,
Neither am I. But
so there of course
I'm hardly an artist. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm a writer, so thinking around film is kind of challenging for me. But there are some shots and some angles and whatnot that I might have done differently. But there are some shots in this movie that I really love. Like when she's going to kill the crime boss guy, there's this shot. It's low from here down on her, like from here to her knees, and she's putting on this pair of gloves.
right.
And it's not quite center frame. She's kind of off to the side, and there's this big sign next to her. That is a great shot of her putting on these gloves because she's about to go murder.
Right.
She's about to go murder somebody. It's not. It's a good turning point for her because it's not a self-defense thing anymore.
Yeah, at this point she is
premeditated. She is murdering people.
Yeah. And there is like there's not a stark change in that with her. Like
No.
At the first time it is self-defense.
Mhm.
She goes and she gets a gun. I think it was really just so she felt a little safer.
Yeah, basically.
And the first time she's in a convenience store, she's just kind of getting something to drink. This guy runs in, kills the woman behind the counter, And she's cowering. She's hiding until her phone goes off and the guy hears it and starts kind of looking for her.
Yeah.
So yeah, and she could have run. You know, it's not like he got like right there and then she fired. She did kind of like
every kill is a choice that she makes. Where
yeah.
she had other options.
For the most part, I would say the second one on the subway was less like. I mean, I could definitely see that being more self-defense.
Yeah.
Because she was in the corner and he had like a knife to her, and she didn't try to she didn't beg, she didn't say anything. She just pulled out the gun and killed him.
Yeah. She didn't pull out the gun and say back off. She bang.
It was the third one though.
Yeah.
The third one is where she really starts to go looking for it.
She's starting to look for.
She's walking along.
Yeah.
This guy in a car, like, basically propositions her because he thinks she's a hooker or doesn't care.
Yeah.
And she gets in the guy's car because she sees there's a girl in the back seat who's very almost catatonic or something. And she is, like, it very much seems like she's trying to help the girl.
Yeah.
But it's also, she's looking for this trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy, like, you know, he tries to lock her in. She pulls the gun out into his head. She doesn't kill him right away, though.
No.
In fact, she's not going to until he tries to run them down in his car.
Yeah.
So that one, yeah, is actually self-defense.
Yeah.
But that is to me, the turning point of her character.
Mm-hmm. Because
she could have just walked away.
Yeah. Well, and it was a moment where she tried to. There's this. She's got this inner turmoil going on throughout the film since that first killing.
Right.
Of what she's doing. And so she's made a conscious decision to not kill this guy and help this girl instead.
Right.
But then
he forces the issue.
He forces it. I mean, I guess she could have pushed him out of the way, let him drive off, maybe put a bullet in the tire.
That's...
Well, I know. But she then turned and basically dedicated herself to killing this guy. And that is when she decides to murder the crime boss guy.
And really, there's no one between the crime boss guy and the last three, right?
No.
Yeah, because after that...
Basically, her kills are like the set pieces, that there's a build-up to it, and then there's the reaction.
Because she finds out, like, she's able to track down the three people that beat her up at the beginning and killed her fiancé. And she tracks them down to kill them. And honestly, the movie did not end the way I was expecting.
Yeah.
Like, I thought there's three of them, she kills two of them, she tracks down the third one, and he's about to kill her, actually, when the Terrence Howard detective shows up.
Yeah.
And stops him, like, you know, he gets the guy, because he's got, you know, he's the police, he's got a gun on him.
Yeah.
He gets the final bad guy on the ground, and she's getting ready to shoot him, and he talks her down.
Yeah.
And I thought she was just going to shoot him.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if she was going to shoot him, then Terrence was just going to automatically shoot her, or if he was going to arrest her. But I was fairly certain that she was either going to die or be arrested. That is not what happens.
No.
He talks her down, he takes the gun away from her, and then gives her his gun so that she can shoot him with that to make it more, to help stage it and help her.
And then
I did not see
her
that
gun
coming.
to shoot him in the arm.
Right, to say, like, was wounded while he tracked these people down.
And that is
they had killed each other, basically.
That is a very noir thing.
It is. It is, actually.
The good people in a noir story, they either die or they're not really good people anymore.
Or they're not main characters.
They're morally compromised.
Or they're not major characters.
Yes.
Like, I know we talked about Double Indemnity earlier.
Yeah.
There's a character, and I'm gonna look up the actor's name because I can't think of his name, but he's kind of one of those classic old school black and white actors. He has like the big mouth lips.
Yeah.
And like I'm sure like he was like made fun of in like Bugs Bunny cartoons because I'm pretty sure that's where I first saw him was in like a caricature in a Bugs Bunny.
They loved that particular gangster caricature in the Looney Tunes.
Okay. So Edward G. Robinson.
Okay.
Kind of.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
He's basically the. I don't know if he ever played Bugsy Malone, but he's basically the Bugsy Malone.
Yeah, exactly. So in Double Indemnity, he plays an insurance investigator.
Okay.
And the main character is one as well, and that's how like he kind of helps set up that murder. Because I think, as I mentioned earlier, it's about a woman who convinces him to help kill her husband for the insurance money. And so the one good character, he's not in the movie a lot, but he's the one that eventually like tracks everybody down. And actually, no, he doesn't. He just hears the confession at the end because the main character gets shot, and he like record. You know what? Fuck everything I just said.
But generally, in your noir film, the good characters that are mains either die or they are morally compromised by the end of the movie. And there's very much a compromise that Terrence Howard makes in this movie because he's been built up through the entire movie as he is the good cop, the straight arrow that will do the right thing for justice, not necessarily.
And he is until a point. Like it's not like he's always been.
Yeah,
it's when he gets that video.
Yes,
she's able to get the video because they filmed it. They filmed her being
the muggers filmed it with their little camera.
And now that I think about it, it's actually kind of an interesting parallel because she recorded a lot of her killings.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
And then listen back to it. There's some crazy stuff in this movie.
There is.
It's very.
Why'd you make me think?
Right? It is equal parts like psychological thriller if you're just sort of paying attention to the little subtleties and character performances and the less subtlety things like her listening to the killings that she's doing because she's because she records different sounds in the city for her radio show.
I think this is the most movie we've ever
Probably
watched.
most movie. We're gonna step it up next time with some Kubrick.
Oh man, are we really?
No, we don't have to do that.
I've tried watching Kubrick before, and I just don't.
I love his stuff.
I'm not saying he's bad, but I just have not really enjoyed the stuff that I've seen.
You need to see Doctor Strangelove. It is
I've
good.
I've seen parts of it.
Doctor Strangelove is a Stanley Kubrick comedy.
I do like the first half of Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah. That's the best half.
I did not enjoy Eyes Wide Shut.
I didn't either.
Granted, I watched it when I was in high school and wanted to see movies, so...
Well, Eyes Wide Shut, I guess we're off topic again. Eyes Wide Shut has an orgy cult in it. And it's too normal to be a Stanley Kubrick movie.
I'd be really interested, though. He definitely has his own style and flair to it, and I'd be really interested to see AI if he had done it.
It actually turns out a lot of the crazy and kind of stupid kind of decisions in that movie were his idea.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought that was...
I read somewhere that the stupid ending to AI, his idea.
So it wasn't Spielberg? Because it screams Spielberg.
It does scream. Well, he wanted to make that kind of movie.
He wanted... Oh, okay.
He wanted to make that kind of Spielberg movie. Let's get back to the Brave one, now, with the clunky transition.
I don't have much more to say about it, to be honest.
There are some great things that this movie does. Like, going back to the conversations between Erica and Mercer, that's Terrence Howard's character.
Mercer, yeah.
Mercer. There is a shot in that I love. This is toward the end of the movie when he's figured it out that she's the one doing the killing. And she has caught on, basically, that he knows. And they're having this conversation at a bar. And the camera, which is kind of positioned over here with her and then him at the bar, it slowly pans around as they're talking. And as they're both kind of figuring it out that, they know. They each know that they know. And then it settles over here. And that is a great film thing because it's like their relationship has changed from this moment. And then it goes back to the first shot thing of movies. But I love that kind of little stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I mean, I don't really think I caught that the first time.
I didn't catch it until, we watched it today. It's a movie that every time I see it, I like it a little more. I
can see that, yeah. But, I mean, I honestly, I don't think this is one I need to watch again, though. It kind of I've got a short list of movies that I've watched once, and I think I've got absolutely everything I ever needed out of it. I think I mentioned that when we watched Gentlemen Broncos.
Yeah. I don't watch that.
I don't know. Like, I'm not. All right, I take it back. This would not go on that list because I'm not adverse to watching this again.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know when I'll ever want to because it's not. It's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I watched it, but it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's not what I go to when I just want to like.
It's not
watch
a movie that I've watched a whole heck of a lot either. It's just when I watch it, when I occasionally get in the mood, it's like I want to watch something really good or something that I can just ponder over, and so I'll put in stuff like The Brave or Drive or well, there's a list.
The Drive I'd watch again.
Yeah. That's our obligatory Drive mention.
Would that be considered one?
Yes, actually.
Excellent.
I was reading a thing when I was reading the thing on Neo Noir today. It counted Drive, and I was like, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I friggin' love The Brave One. It is a good flick.
It was good. It was good.
There's some problems in it. There's some licensed music at the beginning and end, and I didn't like those choices.
It didn't really.
It
wasn't the lyrics. It was the
tone.
It was the tone.
The ending song was kind of heavenly, and I don't think it was Enya, but it reminded me of Enya.
I wonder if that was like studio mandated or something. If that
It's
was
possible, but that movie needed just because there's this score. The score of the movie is great, and there's this sort of subtle like low rumble every once in a while in some of the shots that really kind of heightens that tension. It needed something like maybe like that at the end, because the end is her walking back through that, her basically running away.
Back through the tunnel.
Back through the tunnel.
Yeah.
So you need something different than that sort of ethereal, heavenly music.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. Yeah, I don't disagree at all. Yeah, the music seemed very out of place.
Yeah.
It's
entirely possible that was a studio mandate or. But I would have done something different.
What do you think, Talia?
What do you think? Oh, goodness. She thinks she likes the taste of my face.
I think she's tired of us doing this.
Which is kind of like...
I think this might be your last...
your first and last appearance
on
Red Destiny Art.
On Off Topic. She is the epitome of Off Topic.
Right? I
should have said this is our dog, my dog Off Topic.
This is the dog video.
This is the dog Off Topic.
Oh my gosh. But no, if you're... it's a rough sit in several places, but I definitly recommend this.
Yeah, if you like these kind of movies...
You like a good revenge flick, maybe a good noir flick.
This is one, yeah. What's a more popular movie you would compare this to? Like you would say, if you like this, watch this.
Well, Death Wish.
Yeah,
the original Death Wish.
I've never seen Death Wish, but I always thought the movie was more like action-y, though. Like more Clint Eastwood.
It's been a long time, but I think the more Clint Eastwood action-y ones were the canon.
Oh, okay, all right.
But again, I could be wrong about that. It's been a long time. But I don't know, because it's not like it's definitely different than any like movies you'd see these days, because the frenetic pacing is definitely a thing of the now, and this movie's a very slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like the pacing of Moon. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I like slow burn movies. I love that this movie takes its time.
Yeah, I guess it's hard for me to compare those because they're such different.
Well, yeah, that'd be the only thing they have in common is their pacing.
Yeah, I need to watch
Moon
it
is good.
again. I need to watch that again.
But as far as making comparisons, I'm not really sure what to compare this to.
I don't either, so I'm just going to.
I'm just going to your general noir flicks.
I'm just going to start listing off noir films I think everyone should watch. Double Indemnity is. That one's always going to hold a special place in my heart because it's the first one I ever saw.
Watch Drive.
The Man Who Wasn't There.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that one?
I haven't.
That's a Coen Brothers, like I said. Yeah. And that is straight. That is not them playing with the genre. That is straight up black and white. It's Billy Bob Thornton. Oh,
okay, yeah.
Great freaking movie. anything by the Coen Brothers, really.
No Country for Old Men's
Burn After Reading,
like a
Big
noir western.
Lebowski. Freaking Big Lebowski.
Raising
Fargo.
Arizona, even though it's not remotely similar.
It's a noir comedy, really.
Yeah. I want to see Fargo. That one's on my list. I need to catch up on the Coen Brothers.
We might. This may have started a Coen Brothers month.
That's fine. We've got Halloween coming up soon.
Yeah, we got some good stuff.
We got a plan there. We're gonna shoot for a movie a week.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna try for that.
I'm gonna shoot to get the videos up.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna try and get. We've got like at the point of this recording, I think there's 3 that I need to put up. This will be the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and get those up by Friday. Today's Monday.
Okay.
Pester me until I do it. Cool. But I'm really excited about the Halloween movies because you seem to be like you're gonna go for the real like mental dark thriller.
Yes.
And I'm gonna go straight up like
straight for the gore.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm done. How about you?
Yeah, watch The Brave One. It's good.
And check it out.
And according to a few critics on Rotten Tomatoes, it's morally repugnant. Because
That's the point.
because what the hell else is a war movie going to be?
Till next time, guys. Bye.